All right. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad that I met you this week. Um, this is the video I promised you on the training. I made it into a video because I can show it to you face to face or in person, but then there's scheduling involved, and with the video, it's really quick and really easy, and you can pause it, rewind it, save it. It's going to be uploaded on YouTube, so you'll have the YouTube link here, and you'll be able to go through Blackboard. Now, if you have been able to log on to Blackboard, you'll notice that there's a new aesthetic look to it. I don't want you to be intimidated by the look. It is pretty much exactly the same. It's just prettier, okay? It's like the new season wardrobe for Blackboard, I guess. Everything's pretty much the same. I'll go through it real quickly. I think Distance Learning had sent out a video on Blackboard Ultra, excuse me. I might refer to just as BB, just because Blackboard might get me a little tongue-tied here. Um, let's see, what else do you need to know? This is a quick and dirty version, as you see there, just to kind of get you started. I really do encourage you to do the online certification, and I refer to the website in the email as well. That way you can get started on, becoming fully certified and fully trained in Blackboard, especially this version. I myself have to go through that training again. So this is a quick step guide. Again, you can refer to this video later. I'm going to send you Blackboard YouTube training and links. That's kind of how I had to mine my way through Blackboard, also clicking on things and seeing what they do. Although sometimes that can erase things, so maybe use the YouTube training and links. Questions and concerns is the numbers right here, 831-331-11, and then of course the hotline. Also, you'll see on the page, they'll show you like a YouTube video and stuff and what you can click on. So um, this is what we'll go over. Signing in to Blackboard. If it's your first time signing in, you will use the EPCC email and your password for EPCC. If you are signing in for the first time, the default sign-in is EP dash and then your birth date, month, date, and then the last two digits of the year. I'll show you the Blackboard page, your course layout, and how to add content and how to course copy. And I'll go over Blackboard Ultra a little bit. That's been kind of a thing that's new. So I'll show you how to use it. I don't know if you'll really like it. You still have to go through the training, and actually it's better to go through the training online because then you actually get to use the system. So, all right, so here we go. Let's get started. So I'm going to go over to the EPCC homepage. What I encourage you to do, though, is to go to my.epcc.edu. Do this. Then you're going to go over here to where it says Blackboard. Okay. Just to give you an overview of myepcc.edu. If you click on these things here, this will take you to your email. You'll have to sign in again because it's not a one sign in and then it signs you in altogether. You have to sign in to each individual application or page, which is kind of annoying, but that's how the system is. This is an application just to kind of show you because it's kind of cool. My apps right here. So am I going to have to sign in? Probably. Oh, no, I don't have to, thank God. So this is kind of a resource that EPCC it has implemented. We can use Microsoft Word, OneNote, PowerPoint. If you use it, here's a disclaimer here. If you use it on one of the computers, it'll only save it on that computer. It's really useful, though, if you save everything onto your OneDrive. So anyway, just kind of thought I'd show you that. But anyway, the way to get into Blackboard. Click on Blackboard here. It automatically signed me in, I think. So I'm going to sign out just so that you can see how to sign in. Click off of everything here. Go on Blackboard again. I see. Am I going to have to do the thing? Yeah, I'm going to have to do the thing. All right, so when you sign out of Blackboard, you have to click on End SSO Session. There we go. And then here's the sign in. So this is what it looks like when you sign into Blackboard. Okay. My email and then you have to put at epcc.edu, and then my password. When you sign in for the first time, like I said, it's going to be the default EP-month, date, and the last 2 digits of the year you were born, and then it'll prompt you to change your password. I'm going to sign in. And this is what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to click on the institutional page first, just to kind of take you through the menu items here. So institutional page, when you click on it, has faculty, students, and resources. And gives you some information in case you get lost. Here's a help page for instructors. Okay, I'm going to click on this. And this kind of shows you how to set up your courses, which is really useful. So like I said, I'm showing you the quick and dirty version. This is the in-depth version. Make my course available. If for some reason it's not, you forget your password, where do I start? I would click on this if I were you. You gotta take a survey, I guess. I'm going to say I'm this one. I'm going to submit this. Yes, I guess. Sure, why not? I suppose. That was weird. All right. So I'm going to click on that. And here it kind of gives you a step-by-step. Make a plans, how to create the content. Like I said, this is kind of overwhelming when you first sign in, which is why I'm doing the quick and dirty version, but it's kind of giving you information here. So let's go back to the institutional page. All right, so here's some support services, gives you the computer labs, some more information about the college. Okay. If you need to copy a shell from one instructor to another, well, that would be me here, but I have to fill out this form, which is kind of weird. And then it's got some other stuff. You can follow distance learning if you want to do that. Blackboard has a mobile app for students and an instructor mobile app. So if you have an iPhone, here's the training for that. Again, you can find it under institutional page and here. Okay. But let's go to you, what you need to do because you're trying to get things started here. You're going to go over here where it says courses. And I don't know what it looks like on your end when you sign in. But this is what it looks like on my end. It shows current courses, which doesn't show you your actual courses that are coming up. It just shows you the date. So it focuses on August 22nd. These are your courses. You need to come up with the fall. You click on upcoming courses. And it tells me all the courses that I'm a part of, courses I teach, courses that I'm teaching. It's got all of them here. I'm going to click on, let's say, 1307 here. Okay. There are no available items in this course. Fantastic, because I have to add to it. Okay. So, it doesn't show anything, but I need to add content. And I think one of you had mentioned that you can't find the little content area thing. You know why? It's because the X covers it, which is really annoying. So you can scroll up a little bit. And now let's create some content. So I'm going to go to content area. I'm going to name this homework. Click on assignment. Now if you notice here it has this little thing. It basically means it's hidden from the students. If I want to open it up, I just click on it. I should be able to click on it. No? Okay, fine. Show link. Click on the little caret here and then it will show the link. All right, so when it has it open, that means it's open. Okay. Now I want to add a content folder. The way you all can develop it differently, but the way distance learning wants us to add content is labeling our folders week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, up until the end of the semester. Especially if you're going to have content. So week 1, I'm going to put right there. Having too many, I don't know what you call these, but having too many labels on this side will confuse students. It's better to have less, if you can possibly, and just add onto the content. So week 1, I can go into detail. This week we will go over chapter 1. You can, if you want to do this, and do introductions. Or you can just keep it very basic and just have the week 1 folder. Yes, I want people to see the content. And if I wanted to, I could decide whether or not I want to keep this content up through the end until forever, let's say the end of August 2019, or I could keep it up. I usually just keep it up. I don't even mess with this. So I'm gonna click submit. And there's my content. Now I need to add stuff to the folder, obviously. So let's say I want to add a test. Oh gosh. And I want to create a test. Now, when you first, some of you might not have the shell itself. Some of you just might have the information. So I have to label it quiz 1. Okay. Description. You can give a description or not. It's totally up to you. But you do need to give instructions. You will have 20 minutes to take this quiz. Read chapter 1 first before attempting this quiz. I always put that on there just kind of as to cover myself. Just because a lot of students, what they'll do if you leave the quizzes open is they will actually log on to the quiz, look at all the questions, and then go back and find the answers and then attempt the quiz again. So then they get an easy A, obviously. To create a question, I'll go over here. There's lots of different ones that I can choose from. Multiple choice is my favorite. True and false is another one that I like. Essay and short answer are other ones that I use. I've had a lot of problems in the past with fill in the blank. Fill in the blank is super picky. I use it every now and then. And also multiple blanks. I don't use that one at all, quite frankly. Matching is also kind of a pain. So I stick with the basics, true and false, and multiple choice. And essay. Essays, just because it's sometimes I ask the students to write. So let's do multiple choice. Question 1. You can put a question title or not. It's up to you. The asterisk means that it's required. You don't need a question title. You just need the question text. So mass media in Latin. Well, let's do another question. Hold on. I just gave you the answer. So they have to fill in the blank with this. I usually do no answer number. I do ABC for answers. Doesn't matter. You can allow partial credit if you want to. I usually show answers in random order. And the books is the answer. If I wanted to have answer 2 be the answer, I just move that over. I'm going to do that. Movies. Let's do something else. And newspapers. Netflix. I don't know. There we go. Let's do something. Actually, let's do something fun like Instagram. Now, if they answer that one, they clearly did not read the textbook, right? So I'm done. I can provide incorrect or correct response feedback. Okay, you got it. Books is the answer. Okay. And then I could add levels of difficulty if I want to. These are just additional things if you want to toy with them. You can add instructor notes in there if you want, but I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm going to say submit. Okay. So now my question is there. It's been answered. Let's do a true and false one just for funsies. Okay. Obviously that's false. Maybe take you know a little bit. This would be false, right? You can also change the way the answer looks if you want to do that. I don't. I just kind of leave it as the default just because it looks prettier to me vertically. With your incorrect response feedback, you don't, like I said, you don't have to do this. It would take you forever if you did this one by one individually per question. So I kind of leave this alone. But if you choose to do this, be sure that your answers are respectful, that they're not demeaning or insulting in any way, shape, or form, or could be taken as demeaning or insulting in any way, shape, or form. So just be polite and professional. Like I said, I usually leave it. So submit. So now I have two questions here, and now I want to do a third. Let's say I want to do a short answer. And this could be like an open question that they get credit for. What is mass media to you? Be descriptive. Okay. And then this kind of gives them a level of difficulty. You can add a rubric if you want to. The rubrics, if you're not sure what a rubric is, basically it helps you as the instructor and it helps the student know what you want from them. So if I want to create a new rubric for this answer, let's say essays, it kind of helps the students figure out, okay, my instructor is grading me on the writing format, they're grading me on my organization of an essay and my grammar. You have to write what kinds of things you want within it. So formatting, this essay is not, does not flow at all. The flow of the essay is comprehensive, but does not contain transitions. I use flow in this form. What I mean by flow is the way the essay is structured. How does it read? How it reads. The students seem to understand that. The flow of the essay is complete and transitions easily understood. Organization type, transitions are done well, transitions not present, somewhat present, somewhat present, if I can, there we go, transitions. Okay. Now this is what I decided to do. And I can change, if I want to, I can change the percentage. Perhaps I want to do 33% all across the board. Okay, I want to give the students 33%. I usually leave it at the default, but if I want to, I can do that. I can also add criteria if I want to, and then it will automatically balance the weights again. Let me do that. Click on that. And so each of these counts for 25% of the grade. And then within that, 50%, and so on and so forth. And it's really, really cool because then it changes it. If I decide I don't want an essay, and I'm say, for example, judging how they analyze a film, for example, I'm going to look at the formatting of their analysis. I'm going to look at the organization and the grammar, but I'm also going to look at, did they use film terms, right? So I'm going to go ahead and edit this row, and I'm going to say film terms. Um, did they use any film terms? Did they use anything from the textbook? And I would go ahead and say, well, they obviously didn't read, so they're in the novice form here. No film terminology was used. Maybe they used a little bit film terminology and so on and so forth. Okay, but that's how this works. If I decide I don't want this row, I just click on delete with a little caret, and I say submit. So I think I'm done there. That's my rubric. Now, when I create a rubric, it should save it. That meaning that you should be able to use it throughout your essay. All right, so essay, and then submit. Oh, it must equal 100%. Where is it not equaling? That's why. So if it doesn't equal 100%, click on balance the weights again, and it'll do it. If you want grammar to be 34%, you can change that. It's totally up to you. If you want something to be larger than the other, that's up to you too. My go-to default is just to keep it at the default here, unless something different has to change, but try to be fair. Okay, I'm going to click on submit here. Finally, it's changed it. Okay, whatever. So it should have the rubric. Oh, it didn't add it. Okay, so now I have to select a rubric. This is one of the things I don't like about Blackboard. I don't know why I don't have permission to access it. That's silly. All right, fine. Whatever, but that's how a rubric works, okay? And I've decided this, oh, okay. It just decided to not work. Yay. All right, so let me try again. And I apologize, you will run into this. All right, you will run into this and it will be frustrating, and I apologize. I have coffee next to me to kind of help with the frustration. Um, Sometimes that helps. Okay, whatever. I'm going to see if I could select a rubric because I remember having it. Okay, fine. No, it's cool. I don't need to select a rubric. Whatever. So I'm going to submit it. All right, there's 3 questions there. Woohoo! Now I'm going to select all of these, and I'm going to make each one count, say 33.69%. It's over a little bit of 100. If I wanted to, I could go over here and change things. You can make one question count more than the others. Sometimes I do that, especially with the essay questions on tests. Okay, and I say OK. And now a quiz has been created. Click on the quiz, you click submit. And then it says, what do you want? Do you give a link of the description? You can if you want to. I usually don't, just because it's a lot of clicking. Open the test in a new window. I say no, because sometimes the students have the blocker up, so you don't want that. I want to make it available to the students. Add a new test announcement for this test. I usually do. And then you can allow the students to take it. And then unlimited attempts, I don't recommend that. I recommend 2 if you're going to do that. I recommend 2 because a lot of times the students will take a quiz, and for some unknown reason, Blackboard will crash and burn, or it will kick them out. The other thing it will do too is if they're taking the quiz on a tablet, the components of Blackboard is like, wait a minute, this is a tablet, I'm going to crash and burn now. Other students will take it on the phone, and then they'll get a call, and they'll get interrupted, and then they'll get kicked out of the quiz. Lots of fun things. So I give them 2 attempts. One for technology error purposes, and that way if they get kicked out, they have a second attempt. You can keep score by the highest score. Don't do this, okay? Do the highest score. If you're going to get it timed, you can force completion. I don't do that anymore. I used to, but I don't, mainly because it kicks them out, and then I've had to go in and change this. So I leave that alone. I do set a timer, though, and so I say 20 minutes. And I don't have auto submit because, again, issues. This is all trial and error, guys. I give a due date. So I say, all right, this is due. Let's see. At the end of class, what time do I have that class? I think I have it in the morning. So let's say at 1 p.m. assuming that they would have computers in front of them. And if they don't, then you can do it at end of day, which is 11:59 p.m. You can choose not to allow the students to start the test date if the due date has passed. Sometimes I do this, especially if it's a major thing and like a midterm. Other times I don't. So this is up to you. Keep in mind though that if a student was absent and they were not able to access the internet, they will come to you and say, "But I didn't get to see you take the test." You have to consider reopening it. I usually do this at the beginning of the semester because it gets them into the habit of checking Blackboard and doing the quizzes on Blackboard. All right. And then this is your thing, test results. You can show them after submission if you want to, or not. It's up to you. And what do you want to show them? Do you want to just show them the score? Do you want to show them the answers, what was correct, or just what was submitted? Okay. I usually do what was correct and what was submitted. And you can do you can randomize the questions. You can show the test questions one at a time. You can prohibit backtracking. I always do that, but then it automatically goes to this. If you do it all at once, then the questions show up all at once. I do all at once because I've done one at a time, and the students have showed me that it kicks them out halfway through the test. There's just so many bugs with this system. So I'm going to submit. When it works, it's wonderful. When it doesn't, it's a pain. So now week 1, we're still in my week 1 folder, FYI. Okay, if you notice, it says homework in week 1. If you ever need to backtrack, go to up here. Okay, so homework, week 1. We're in the week 1 folder. So there's my quiz. Now I want to add an assignment. And I'm going to call it 24 hours. They are fans of this one about social media. 24 hours, you will be without social media. You can use your cell phone to make phone calls. And if you see the text, you must call the person back. Write about your experiences in a one-page essay, double-spaced. This is an actual assignment that I do give them. It's fun. Double-spaced and 12-point font. I usually make it 1.5 pages, but for the purposes of this assignment, for this experiment here, we'll do 1 page. All right, so that's it. If I want to add videos from YouTube, this is what this is. If I want to attach a file instead, I can do that, like supplemental materials, pictures, that sort of thing. I can do that too. I can embed media. Let me show you this. It's got little emojis here that you can choose from if you want to. They're not very, it doesn't have a lot of them, but you can use them if you want to. This is the YouTube video. You can, oh, is this when I do, yeah, okay. So this is when you record yourself. You have to have a YouTube account. If I want to add video, I know there's a way to do it. Ah, yes. So if I want to add a YouTube video, this is where things kind of get complicated. So remember this, I'm going to add a second tab. I'm going to go to youtube.com, mass media app communication, just so that you can see. We're going to do this. I'm just clicking on the first one. Hopefully this works. I'm going to click on the URL. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back over to the course content. Go to here. And then I'm going to embed the media. Hopefully it works. Yes, it does. I'm going to insert it. Ta-da! It's inserted and it looks like this. Okay, if you see that yellow thing, it's perfect. And then I'm going to give it a due date. You know, maybe I want to watch the video or something. I'm going to give them the 27th. And I want to do at 8 in the morning because I like hearing groans. No, make it do reasonable, but for the purpose of this assignment, you know. And it's 100 points, and I can select it for my rubric. Let's see if they kept it, right? Let's take a look. Essays is kept. Funny. I'm going to submit. So this way they know what I want in terms of the essay. I want to show the rubric. Why it doesn't automatically show, I have no idea. But I'm going to show it with the rubric scores. That way they know what to shoot for. And then I click on submission details. Lots of clicking, guys, and I apologize for this. And I give them multiple attempts for this. I gave them 2, just in case they get kicked out, because that happens. And then I do this cool thing where I check submissions for plagiarism. SafeAssign is this cool little thing which actually takes an essay and it takes it through bunches of search engines, through Blackboard, through the internet, to see if the students actually plagiarized. Now you have to actually read the essay and click on the SafeAssign essay that pops up right underneath and read through it yourself, because sometimes if you have questions, SafeAssign will take those questions from your essay that you, the instructor, gave them, and will automatically think that it's plagiarized from another student, from another student, and from another student, when really it's not. So use, read the stuff and check it yourself, because sometimes you can't really count on this too much. You can let the students see the SafeAssign report or not. I usually don't, because sometimes, I don't know, I just don't. Grading options, I don't need that. And then display of grades, I usually do primary. That's pretty much it. And then I click submit. And I make it available. You have to make it available to the students. And that is how you add an assignment. You can go over here, you can add a discussion board, you could do journals, you can do voice authoring, which I haven't done before. You can do a voice presentation that I'm not too sure about. So if you want to play with these, you can. If you become a pro at these, let us know. The build content area is super useful. If you want to use a web link, I'm just going to click on Washington Post. Maybe you want them to read something, and you want them to read a certain story, or okay, very political today. Let's do this one. I think this is editorial. All right, so I'm just going to click on this. I'm going to tell maybe I'm telling them in class, read this link on Blackboard, and then after you read the link, we'll discuss it, which I've done. You can provide links to them and then tell them to sign into their Blackboard in class, and then have them read it, in partners, have them discuss it. Maybe you have a journal prompt or discussion prompt. Okay, that way you're not going go to this link www. You just say click on the link on week 1. Okay, let's see. You can add videos if you want to. YouTube videos are kind of fun to add. You can do NBC content as well. That's kind of useful. And it clicks on it and it does this NBC Learn thing. And it says, what do you want me to look for? Well, what I want you to look for is communications, please. Thank you. If it's film, I believe that's under probably marketing or entertainment. So I'm going to click on submit. And then look, it's got all these cool stuff. So I'm going to go right here with communications. What do I want? What do I want? Do I want the 3D? That's a very big issue right now. But I'm looking more for media, right? I'm not looking more, so let's do maybe, let's go back. Maybe I don't see the things I want here. So I'm going to go down a little bit more. Let's do journalism and news media. All right. Let's say I don't want storytelling, and maybe I want the history of journalism. Okay. And maybe I want journalism in society, more specifically. And here are all these cool things. Fake stories is a big thing right now, so I'm going to click on this. I don't know if I can add it right away. It gives you tips, which is kind of cool. It gives you the transcript if you want to, I think.
During a speech this week on Capitol Hill, Hillary Clinton talked about...
And so here's the embed information. I can embed it. Oh, this is, all right, so embed. And then it embeds it. And then it has the lessons that go with it if I want to add lessons. Okay. And then it'll click on that. And boom, you have an assignment already there for you, which is really cool. The students can download this. And then after they download this, actually this just gave me a really good idea for my other class. But after you download this, it gives you some additional resources too, which can help you as the instructor. Okay. So that's just journalism, but if you have marketing or advertising or intro to film, it has that information. If you want to you can have the students download things. This is a transcript, so it is ADA okay, which is the other thing too. If you do videos, you have to make sure it has the captions or a transcript to follow it. The students can print it if they want to. If you do the lesson with fake news, you have to make an assignment available. That's the only thing that's kind of annoying. You have to create a new assignment and be like, upload it to here. So if I were to have them do the fake news assignment, after they download it and answer the questions, either I have them turn it in class by hand, or what I'll do is I'll just make an assignment to be like NBC, just to kind of show you, NBC lesson. Homework. And then I have to like upload the answers. And then of course I have to give instructions in class, that sort of thing. And then I give a due date. You always have to have a due date, because if you don't have a due date, the students will not turn in anything until the last minute, or they won't turn in anything at all because they don't see it as important. So you have to make sure they have a due date. If they have a due date, make sure you follow it. If you change the due date, make sure you change it on Blackboard too. I'm at fault of doing this too, so just FYI. And the students are really good at keeping tabs on you, so don't take it as an insulting kind of thing. All right, last thing. Say you don't like the structure of this. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. Say you don't like how the quiz is there and the video is there. Like you just added things and you don't like the way it works. Maybe you want them to look at the Washington Post first. Boom, right there, Washington Post, done. Okay, maybe I want the quiz over here. Okay, you want to click and then drag and move it where you want. Okay. Sometimes the screen is large or the assignments are too big, like I'm looking at these, right? So I have to, basically what I'll do with my screen is I'll do command and then the minus key. But anyway, that's how you do that. Okay. So that's how you add content. Now the other things you want to do is you want to go ahead and add web links, tool links, subdividers. Okay, if you want to make designs over here, you need to add your syllabus on here. So since, oh my gosh, this is so annoying. Sorry. Where's the little arrow thing? Oh, here it is. You need to add content. There we go. There's a little arrow. Syllabus. You make it available. Submit. And then I go here. And then I add my syllabus as a file. Make sure that it is this is not the right one, but just so that you know. Make sure if it is accessible to the students. I'm going to submit it. Takes a minute. And there it is. Okay. The other thing you need to have is contact information. Okay. Let's see. The tool link here. So these are announcements. This is already done. So if you have any announcements that you want to do at the last minute, or you want to send to your students, go ahead and do so. You need a way for them to reach you and contact you. Let's do another tool link. That would be Blackboard help. Actually, you should just have Blackboard help on there so that they have that information. And then, oh my gosh, this little arrow keeps disappearing. Okay, here we go. And then we're going to go over here to Tool Link. And you can do Barnes & Noble textbook tool. That's kind of cool. It lets them see things. You can do EPCC Bookstore. You can add these two. My Grades is another one. I add My Grades just so that they are able to see what their grades are for the course. It helps them. If you don't have My Grades, then they can't see what grades they have overall for the course, and that doesn't help them. You could do a blank page if you want to. I don't recommend that. You could do a module page. Let's do another tooling here. I'm trying to get the Ultra. Here we go. That way we can get into Blackboard Ultra. I'm going to make it available. And then I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to do a blank page here. I'm going to call it welcome page and then make it available to the users. So this is my welcome page. If this all works in layers, okay, think of this course in layers. When you have your welcome page and you put it here at the top, this is the first thing the students are going to see. If you have the course at the top, this is the first thing they're going to see. Okay, so you can move these around. Okay? If you don't like the way it's layered, but the welcome page is the first thing they're going to see. And this is where you do a little bio about yourself. You know, include a picture, and you can include the picture through here by adding content. It'll ask you where to get the picture from. You can give a title to the picture, and then you insert it. You can write in there a little bit about yourself. Your contact information is super useful here. Your email and your office hours. You want all that here. And then you can also attach a file if you want to. It won't upload, but it'll have a little file attachment. If you want to link to a URL, maybe some work that you've done in the past that you want to show them, hey, I'm legit, check me out. Or if you have a YouTube, that's where you would go to. Where are you? This one? Yeah, the URL there. You can do that. So that would be your welcome page. But again, anyway, let's go into Blackboard Ultra. Click on this. So this is Blackboard Ultra. It's essentially an online collaborative tool. I did some training on this. Don't remember everything, but basically, this is your online office hours. If you're having online office hours, or if you're doing online classes, you have to have online office hours, and you have to abide by those office hours. You can't just say you're online and not be online. We've had kind of a problem with that throughout the college. So I want to create a session. You can create sessions where it's just students, or you can create a session where it's just you and students where you're available. So I'm going to create my session, and I'm going to label it start of school. I usually do the dates. Hold on. When do we start? August 27th, right? It's on the 27th. Students have guest access. And I'm gonna be in my office at like 3. Okay? And I'm gonna be in here until 4. Okay? I can repeat the session, which means I can repeat it weekly, every Monday, so it's not, so I don't have to constantly add. I can repeat it once a month, okay? Or I can repeat it daily. I'm gonna be online daily, okay? So I'm gonna repeat it weekly. And then I can add to it too. Do I want to do it from 3 to 4 on Tuesday, Thursday too? Or just do Monday, Wednesday? I'm going to do Monday, Wednesday because those are when my office hours will be. And then it ends after like 10 minutes. And then students can enter 15 minutes before. Or I could do no early entry time. I usually allow it just because I can. Okay. I can provide a description. These are my online office hours. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. The students, you want to give them guest access as a participant. This is the link that they have to follow. Okay? And then you say save. All right. If I want to make additional things, I can show how many times. And so you pretty much, it tells you, I have to go in. Hold on. I probably have to rename this session here. If I want to rename the session office hours, I can, because August 27th is kind of confusing, right? And so everything has been changed. Save. And then if I want to maybe change things, maybe the hours, I can do that. Or I can delete the session. If I need to give the students a guest link, maybe through announcements like, hey guys, guess what? We're having a session. These are my office hours. I can copy the link. Okay. And then this is the menu. Okay. You can record your sessions, and then the recordings will be added here. So if you're going over something, the students, maybe you're doing an online lecture, you can have the recordings here. The only tricky thing about recordings, and this is, they're so useful and yet so not. If you do a recording, in order to comply with ADA law, you have to go back and you have to transcribe. So basically, you have to transcribe your entire session, add that, and then upload it. It's kind of annoying. So let's go into this one. I'm going to create a session for today. So August 22nd. Faculty training. I'm going to delete it when we're done anyway. I'm going to have it start now. Okay. And I'll have it last for an hour. And I'm not going to repeat the session. And that's all I'm going to do. This is for today. Okay. So now I'm going to click on this. I want to join the session. The students can dial into a session if they like and use it on their phone. So I'm joining the session. Right now I'm the only participant. Also use Google Chrome. Now it's asking me if I want to use your microphone and your camera. I'm going to go ahead and allow it. Hopefully it doesn't. Okay. Test, and so it's doing an audio testing of things here. I say yes, it's working. And that's going to test the video. And it's me. So the FaceTime HD camera, it's the default. I say yes, it's working. And so it tells you, what the tutorial is. I encourage you to do this. Let's see if it lets me do it. So this kind of shows you the session menu. Okay, right here. So it looks like there's nothing, right? But there actually is. The room is empty. I'm the only one in the room right now. So just to kind of show you, this is my status. I can say that I am away, that I'm happy, surprised. I can leave the session. Agree or disagree. If you have a discussion, the students can say they agree with something or they disagree with something. If you're going too fast, they can tell you slower, or if they're confused. Okay. This is a microphone if you want to share audio. I don't share audio because then the feedback is horrible. Video you can share as long as you don't share the audio, unless you're going to cut off everybody else. And I've done these sessions to do one-on-one student conferences about transferring. And the things that work best are the video. I have done the audio, but I get terrible feedback. And it's just the white noise, electronic feedback. Students can raise their hand. Okay. This is, if you want to chat with somebody, you can. If you want to chat with moderators, students can do a private chat on their own, and actually you can monitor those private chats. Tell you who's attending. That's me right now. You can move over to the chat. Okay. If I want to share content, I can. So I can share my screen. I can share a whiteboard. So I'm going to click on that. And I can draw things. Whee! I can add text. This is a really quick session. I can erase things. Again, I can add text. I can do an arrow. I can share files. So if I want to add a file on here that I want the students to read and share, like I'm going to put lab rules, for example. It'll load it up. It'll upload, convert eventually. And then it downloads it. So, let's say I'm going to share it now. And students can then see it on their shared pages, which is really cool. Okay. My settings, I can go over here and I can change my speaker volume. I can change the microphone volume, or the students can do that on their own as well. They can report issues, notification settings, if there's some sort of thing going on, they can. Okay. So that's how you share information. Let me go back over here. It's this one right there, share content. You can have a polling. You can do, like, say you have a question. Let's do 2 choices or yes, no choices, right? Start. You'll ask a question and then you have the student say yes or no or whatever. And then you can end the polling and then you as the instructor get the responses. You can have a timer, you can have breakout groups. It's really cool. Then over here, I can start recording the session. So say, for example, now none of the session is being recorded. Say, for example, I have a lecture or I have a PowerPoint and I'm going over it. The session is being recorded. And so if students were, for some reason, were not able to log on during these hours, they can go to the session recordings later that day and see the lesson. Okay. You can use their phone for audio. If for whatever reason the computer's not working, I haven't done that yet. And then say I want to stop recording. Right, so recording has stopped. And then say I'm done sharing content, like we're done. All right, I'm gonna go back over to the chat session. And I don't want to share content anymore, so I'm gonna click on this, stop sharing. And it goes back to the empty room. And that's how, I know it looks very basic and it looks like there's nothing being done, but when there's somebody in the room, it offers you the opportunity to share video. I'm gonna share my video, okay. It's taking a minute and I have the spinning wheel of death. Oh no! And there I am, I'm right there. So I pop up right here, but the student will see me here. And that's my phone, I apologize. Let me go ahead and sorry about that. And so that's how it works. You will see yourself here. If you don't want that and you want to share your audio with the student, that means, as you see there, the audio is being shared. If you want to share both, the video and the audio, takes a minute. And there you go, I have my video and my audio. Now say I'm done. I'm done with the session. I'm done. I don't want to do this session anymore. Okay, I'll go over here and I'm going to say leave session. Good, I guess. Oh, do I have to do this? I'm just going to skip it. And it tells you you've left the session. Congratulations, right? And then once you're done, you click on here and it goes back to your course content. Okay. You say save it. And here, you can click on it. Okay. Oh, wait. So that's it. Yeah, it's done. So these are the sessions. I'm trying to get the actual recordings. Oh, right, the recordings over here. So go over here to the menu. If I want to see a recording, I guess I didn't upload the recording, but it should. So anyway, these are the recordings and those are the sessions. Okay. Let's see, what else was I supposed to go over? Homework, syllabus, announcements. Oh, just so that you know what announcements are. If you create an announcement, like test is due today. Okay. Send the message to all your students. It goes to the students immediately. I don't date restrict it. And then it goes out to the students en masse. If you have to cancel a class, have an announcement sent out to your students, but also be sure to let us know, faculty, let me know and let the dean's office know that the class is canceled. That way, one of us, you need to let the dean know for sure, but that way the dean's staff can go down and put a piece of paper on your classroom door saying that class is canceled for whatever reason. Maybe you're sick or there was an accident or you're going to be late. If you're going to be late because there was a traffic accident, normally you'd be here on time, but something massive happened on the freeway and you're going to be about 20 minutes late or 10 minutes late, then that's when you would call the dean's office and say, I'm here, I'm on my way, I don't want the students to leave. You could send the announcement on your phone, though I don't recommend texting and driving, but you could do that too through the Blackboard stuff. Blackboard Help just kind of sends you to the link on Blackboard. And I'm going to go ahead and click there, and it gives you all the issues that we talked about before. Okay, so that is Blackboard. I'm going to do another video later on in the semester on how to submit your grades, just so that you know where to go. Okay, you go to Full Grade Center, and you actually have your rosters here. So if you're able to log on, you can go to Grade Center, Full Grade Center, and copy all these here. And it gives you the students' names and their numbers, when they're available, when they last accessed it. So you can see when the students accessed the class. If they say, oh, I've been logging onto Blackboard every day, but really they just started it, they just logged it one time in the semester and they didn't log in the rest of the semester at all, well, maybe they're lying to you. So check the access date, and that also is really helpful too at the end of the semester. You can also, I'm looking for, oh, right, I have to scroll up. You can create columns. Columns automatically are created when you add assignments. These are the columns. But say you have a participation column, it's an in-class group thing, and all you do is go, instead of creating an assignment and doing all that stuff, you can say group, and my battery's about to die, group assignments. Okay. And it'll display as a name, score, how many points, 100. You can add a rubric or whatever, and you submit it. Oh my God. Okay, fine. And that is how, where did it go? Oh my God. This is so annoying. Sorry, guys. All right, Full Grade Center. There. For grading, and it'll show you the grades here. Now, before I run out of battery, when you click on Needs Grading, it'll show you all the assignments that have been submitted and what you need to grade. Please grade often and please submit often. Okay. And so if you want to finally log out, if you want to see what the students see, you can click on this and enter student preview. You just click on it again and it takes you off of student preview. Okay. So I'm done with this class and I want to go to the next one. I just click on the little thing and go to the next one and the next one. And then this should show you the messages that students send you. Should. This tells you what needs to be graded. Okay? So that's a really quick and dirty run of Blackboard. Thanks for watching. I'm going to sign out. Again, you need to go ahead and click on that. And there we go. And I hope that's useful. I'm going to go ahead and send you all this stuff. I didn't show you how to course copy because my battery's running out. I'll do that in another video, and since it's kind of long anyway. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. Again, look at the links and all the other useful information.